you damn nerds, y'all love that Deus Ex, don't you? That whatever it is, Deus Ex.
You're dropping a Deus Ex?
Deus Ex.
Yes. About this shit.
As Deus Ex Machina, the Greek trope from Greek tragedies.
I don't speak Spanish, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Look at the big brain on Jason. Wow, man.
Yeah, I know this game has a rich history behind it. I know. Now, this is the kind of game. Now, the first game, Deus Ex, when it came out, what was it, like 2000?
Oh, yes, 2000. And it's still pretty good to this day. I played it like a few years ago, and it still holds
shut up,
up.
Nick. You weren't even born in 2000.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
This is one of the few times that I can proudly say that I've played one of these old games. Because you go about, remember, like, Contra, or whatever the fuck it's called. like, no, dude, I was thinking about custard that time. I wasn't interested in, arcade games. But yes, I definitely played the original Deus Ex.
Okay, so tell me something.
Back when you were floating as an embryonic fetus in the Matrix.
No. What were you peeking out through your dad's penis watching him play or something?
Don't ruin my moment, Jason, okay?
Okay, let me put a pause right there. Spill fan art, Nick Hodges poking out from his dad's penis as his dad. Make it so, listeners.
Make it happen. So,
well, just put my face on a sperm or something. Would that make you happy?
Yeah, that's what you already look like. But you know what, man? Since you're such an expert,
that was mean. Dude.
I'm sorry, like we haven't been mean already. But Nick, let me ask you something. Now, does this predate something like everybody talks about Mass Effect and how that game has open exploration and the dialogue in it kind of leads to, how the outcome of the story is going to be. I mean, is this the game that kind of kicked all that off, though, or one of the games that kind of innovated that?
It was the first game that I played that really combined, for me, like kind of action with role-playing, where you could make multiple choices, have conversations, and have different alternative endings. I mean, I know there are other ones, but like it was more kind of turn-based, side-scrolling, and this was like a first-person shooter with role-playing in it.
Okay, so it is an innovative game in that area.
Yes, yeah, and actually there's a lot of things that... there's a lot of games that haven't really captured the multitude of choices you can make in going after your objective.
See, that's what I love about this game here, man. I mean, I myself, not having played Deus Ex or even the sequel, which I heard is terrible. What was that? Invisible Warfare?
Yeah, that was fucking awful. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't finish the whole game. I played like for an hour or two, and I was just so bored by it. Like, I don't know, they must have had different makers or something.
Yeah, well, this game here, it's cool that I haven't played it because I love the just that you get to choose the style of gameplay that you want to proceed in with this game. And also, I have some complaints because I'm just not as enamored with the series as a lot of people were who loved that first game. You got some people who tell you, like, that first game influenced their careers as far as wanting to work in video games or even as programmers.
It's one of the seminal cyberpunk video games ever. There are like 3 different ways in this game to get around any obstacle, but if you try 2 of them, you're stupid. Because usually it's like the best one is crawling around in vents like you're Spider-Man, just trying to stay the hell away from the guys with infinite ammo. And yet somehow, when you pick their bones after you kill them for extra ammo, they've only got 2 bullets left. What do you know?
Yeah. There's so many different ways that you can play this game, and it all depends on how you decide to advance certain characteristics about your character in the game. Speaking of your character, if you haven't heard of this game or if you haven't played any of the other games or...
It doesn't actually matter if you haven't played the first Deus Ex because this is a prequel. So, you could start off this series from scratch.
Well,
just with this one.
You should still play the first one because it's great.
Yeah,
no, definitely. Please get. I mean, like it's $5 or something like that, and it's a classic. It really is.
Should. You should play if you get a chance. I mean, if you really care about the story in this, which I think is a cool story. Now, the game has a lot of drawbacks and a lot of areas of character and even a little bit of story, but you might be a little bit lost, but it's not going to have that much bearing on as far as getting used to the world. Coming into this game, you play a character, Adam Jensen. Now, Adam Jensen is a RoboCop, right?
It is RoboCop. I mean, in fact, there's a scene in the game where you're in a police station, you hear two coppers talking about, hey, have you ever seen that film RoboCop? It was made in the 1980s.
It's just like this game. No,
Yeah, it really is. They actually say that. It's like, hey, Jensen, you're RoboCop.
It's this movie from the 1980s about this cop. He gets all shut up. He gets rebuilt as a cyborg.
Is that with Van Damme?
No, that's something else. I'm surprised you never heard of it. Takes place in the future Detroit.
I guess I'm just not into sci-fi. Nice digs. You ever heard of this 80s movie?
Look at this guy. I think we were just talking about you, pal.
Well, he is a RoboCop because he has, like, you know, these two. You look at him. He's been. Well, at the beginning of the game, you work for a corporation. You know, you're. I guess you're kind of a private security guy, and a lover of yours is on the brink of working on this revolutionary technology, more revolutionary than walking around with two bionic arms. But as she starts to make some leeway with this, that character dies, and she's very close to you. But you're also working for the company that that had her do these developments. So you got a lot of motivation to figuring out what the conspiracy is behind her death and why people wanted to hide this technology. And, you know, when I'm playing the game, I'm like, that didn't really fucking matter because I'm lost as hell when I'm playing this. I don't really know.
Do you like reading? If you like reading, there's a lot of reading in this game.
Yeah.
And I do not. So, but, you know, as you play the game, you soon learn that it doesn't matter within the story what's happening. What really matters are the choices that you make from that point on. Jason's right. You got three modes of playing this game, really. One is you can be very stealthy and sneak your way around the game and not be seen from all these guys with, as he says, overpowering ammo and weapons. Or you can pretty much sweet talk people by just going through dialogue trees and choosing the right thing to say in the right order. Or, as my man Professor Jeff said to me the other day, he just went through the game blasting fools. Just shooting people.
That's not true. The first time I went through the game, I didn't kill a single person, and it was such a frustrating and upsetting experience. At the very minute that I beat the game, I was like, start a new game. Let's get to the part where I can start murdering. Murder!
Yeah, see, Jeff, if you had told me, you're like, I'm playing through the game without killing anyone. I'm like, the fuck is your problem? You're doing it wrong. Because I got to tell you, somebody looks at me crossways in this game, bullet in the face.
Jeff,
it's like, well, oh, you're calling the cops now? Well, guess what just happened? I have to kill this entire building. I have to kill anyone that sets foot in this building because you would give me a fucking candy bar.
I can see Jason's game. All of downtown Detroit is just empty. There's just corpses everywhere.
It was heartbreaking when I found a guy that I couldn't kill. I felt like Charlton Heston towards the end. I was just like, I have emptied this entire game of people that can talk to me.
They steer you that way, though, because like if you try to play it stealthy, they give you this terrible dart gun that's supposed to tranquilize dudes. And like then you see the guys, like you got the scope and you're like looking at them, and like there's guys working in like a factory or something. They're like picking up boxes and they're covered in head to toe in like leather body armor or something, where just their face is like showing. And I'm like thinking to myself, do I just shoot him in the face? And then you shoot a dart at them and it doesn't do anything. They're just like, huh, I just got stung or something.
And
I don't know.
That tranquilizer gun is so fucking slow. When like people are shooting at you, and I'm trying to because I'm trying to do the right thing. You know, see y'all, I'm a Buddhist at heart. I don't want to hurt anybody, so I'm trying to go
You're
through
a
the game.
Buddhist. You're not a...
There's a difference, Korey.
Damn, I can't argue with that, can I? Instead of going through the game trying to kill people, I was just trying to grab people's booties and run. This knocks people out.
Trying
right?
to find the Mass Effect options where it's like, well, how do I get you into the sack?
I know. I'll go around pinching people's ass. They look the other way, and I sneak off.
I just say going into that Deus Ex cut scene where his robot arms come apart and Korey has 6 hands with which to grab that ass.
All your asses belong to us.
I know. I start a fight between two guards because the other one's like, you grab my ass? What the fuck is going on? I had the perfect crowd. No, I went to the game trying not to kill people at first. And I remember I got into I was going through and trying to you had to pull that tranquilizer gun out to take out certain people. And there was one guy, I swear that he did not see me. When I pulled that tranquilizer gun out, and I looked through my scope. He was standing in front of me, grinning, and just shot me right there on the spot. It was like, no, you go through the game with they make you believe. That's a part of the game that I probably didn't like, is that if you don't know going into it that you're not going to really be punished for how you play the game, you decide to like maybe play the game without killing everybody because you think that's where your greater reward is going to be. And I tried to do that, and it got to one part of the game where I tried to reason with a man. I tried my best to talk to him, and
why you make me want to hit you?
It did, man. It really. I was like, every time I tried to talk to him, I wasn't picking the right words and the right choice. I mean, I will give this game credit. They give you in order to talk people into doing what you want them to do or talking your way into things, you kind of have to build up for that by building up your skills and your augmentations. And I didn't do that at a certain point. I guess I didn't do it at the right time, because I was talking to one guy, and 3 times that guy did some evil shit. I could not stop him. By the time I got to my 3rd or 4th retry, I just shot that motherfucker, man. And I just like, fuck it. And then while let me tell you what I did. And this is
dark side.
Was this the guy at the end of the first level?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you though, when I went back in, I tried to do that same thing with that stupid whiny ass cop ex-partner guy of yours at the Detroit police station. And when he got all bitch ass like, "You just don't understand me. Leave me alone. You don't know my pain." I pulled out my gun and just put 2 in his face and then murdered every cop in that police station.
Wow. Because that was funny, because I didn't know you could do that. That's what I'm talking about. You can choose to be as good or as bad as you want to be in this game, and it's not really any real repercussions to it. It's not like
as long as you can fight off all the cops, you're good.
Yeah, that was the best part. Is at the end of that level, I went over and I did the goal, and your boss calls you and he's like, "Did you get it?" And you're like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, good job." I did murder everybody to get it.
Come on back in.
The best part of this game that makes it a full price is there's a level where you can do a whole bunch of whore killing.
Wow. You see, and that's
I figured you would do that in the brothel. Like, you just want to kill all these whores instead of like,
they were unclean. I had to purify that building. It was God's will, Nick.
Jason, I always appreciate your ability to make your own game within the game.
There were new landlords moving in, and his name was Jesus Christ.
You know what? You should have played Call of Juarez if that was your thing. To be honest, I think hookers.
It's funny because I see Jason at certain
one part of that shit.
I know. I see Jason at certain points in the game where he's just picking up kittens, like what, with a gun up to their heads. No, Jeff, to respond to what you say
so much, you have to do that.
Hey, man,
I started getting crazy.
Hey, if they had it coming, man, they had it coming. Jeff, you know what? I didn't know you could do that cop killing thing, and until I walked out of the room, and like there was one part where this cop told me, like I didn't know I didn't know I could do this. I just went to talk to the cop just to see if I could get some more information about what to do, and the cop told me like, "Yeah, thanks, Jensen. All these people are dead because of you." And I knocked the shit out that motherfucker, man. And I didn't know I could do it. I just did it because I just pressed the button because I was mad. I didn't know it actually do something.
That happened to me on accident. I was walking down the streets of Detroit. You know that homeless lady that gives you hints and stuff in the first level? Like, I walked up behind her and I was going to talk to her. I accidentally hit the wrong button, and he did that move where he taps her on the shoulder, and when she turns around, he just cold cocks the shit out of her. I was like,
that is my favorite. Just walking up to people, sneaking up on them, not even sneaking up on them, and they're just going about their business, and then it cuts to that dramatic scene. You tap them on the shoulder, or you come up and you pull some Navy SEAL ninja shit on them and just beat their ass.
Pop the 3 foot.
Adam Jensen's a proper gangster. Have you seen in the dialogue cutscenes, he sometimes does that little gangster pose where he crosses his arms and he's like, "So what's up?" Oh,
yeah. Well, he's
got those badass shades that are just like built into his face.
Yeah, what purpose are those shades? Seriously.
To look cool?
Built into his skin.
Because it's night all the time in this game. Why do you need sunglasses?
Yeah. But see, that's the thing about the game is that no matter what you do, and it is a big compliment to the game, and it's also what I was talking about with the story. I mean, it's almost like GTA level where there's no real consequences for the violence that you do, except as long as you achieve certain goals here, you kind of get rewarded for it. I mean, it's, and I think for a game that has consequences, you should have received with the psychopath shit that Jeff did.